Well, good morning, my wonderful friends. Another glorious day. It is day 2 of my experiment of staying positive. So, yeah, let's see how everything goes. Yesterday was a little shaky. Right after I filmed with you guys, immediately somebody in a truck came up and was like, "Hey, you need to move your car. I need to start parking my truck here." It was some kind of like truck driver, like, those big like box type trucks, which is a first here. Like, we've never had a box truck like ever use like any of the ports over here at my building, so like this wasn't communicated, and I was just like, it's not a big deal, but I'm just like, are you for real? Like, all these inconveniences. So yeah, we no longer could park there, so there was no space for me at all left at my actual building, so I had to park out in the parking lot by the dumpsters, which the dumpsters are sketchy. They have a bunch of metal bits and parts, they get dropped, people's tires get popped all the time, and I'm just like, there's no room for me here. And then on top of it, I am pregnant, so like, cool. Like, when it starts snowing and it's icy and everything, like that's gonna get even more sketchy to walk across this parking lot to get to my building. So yeah, fun times. But anyway, yeah, I got more weird news here at work, and it has definitely affected some other members from like my West Coast team, and just chatting with them, and I'm like, I am feeling everything you're feeling. Yeah, like I have been. But also, they're miles ahead of me, for the year. So like I was like, I hear you. I was like, but it could be worse. You could be me. So like, I don't know. It was kind of nice to just listen to them vent and, hear that I'm not alone in the way that I've been feeling about stuff, and also kind of be like a support system for them too, because I was like, listen, I was like, it's not going to stay like this forever. Things change constantly around here and quickly. And, what we do is really, really special, and it takes a special person to be able to pull it off, because, selling such a large ticket item with a never meeting your client face to face and them never touching the product or anything, like, you have to be a special kind of person to be able to do that successfully. So, trying to throw somebody who doesn't quite have that same personality or skill set, it's just not going to work. It's going to backfire. So just hang in there. So just keep moving. Just keep working your stuff and pushing forward, and that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And lo and behold, very crazy thing, it's actually maybe panning out for me. I went through some really, really old leads of mine and was just basically like sending like a breakup text, essentially like, hey, I don't want to bug you, but I've tried to reach out to you a few times, haven't heard anything back. You let me know if you want off the list, and I'll update your file. And one of the guys, gosh, I don't think we've connected in like 7-8 months, maybe longer. I'll have to double check. But he was like, well, I'm just kind of concerned about pricing. And I said, I get it. I was like, the pricing is kind of a shock up front. I said, however, we do have really fantastic lenders. They can extend terms to up to 120 months and, stretch out those payments for you. Like, what are you thinking? Like, you only need 1,000 down. And I said, is it cool if I maybe just crunch some loose numbers for you? And he was like, yeah, why don't you do that? So I found a car that I thought he was going to really like, and just did some generic math with an auto loan calculator, which is not fully accurate, but it'll get you kind of close. And I said, this is what we'd be looking at with just 1,000 down. And he was like, He's like, well, what about maybe a trade? I was like, well, it's like the trade, it's a little bit on the older side, but the mileage is good. It looks like it's in really good shape. I was like, I'm willing to ask. I said, I can't guarantee we'll take it, but I'm willing to ask about it and get you a number if we can get a number. And yeah, he was like, I want that car. He's like, is this the car you're talking about? I said, that's exactly the car I'm talking about. And he was like, I want it. So yeah, we got a signature, we got a deposit. I still got to get a trade evaluation. We still got to run them through actual financing. He sent me everything I need, so you still never know. But I was just like, I don't know, it just gave me a little bit of hope, a little bit of gumption. I was like, that's freaking cool. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was a good feeling. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now with everything. Like, stressing out about all these things that are entirely out of my control, even though it sucks, and I just want to throw myself a pity party, and I'm stressed, and I've got a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. Like, I just can't worry about it, you know? So, and then having a bad attitude isn't helping a single damn thing. So, I'm still staying positive. Trying not to let anything bother me like that. And I do have an appointment today, too. So, this is going to be my 16-week appointment. One thing that's kind of annoying, and it is also part my fault too for not asking more questions, like they schedule all these appointments, and by they I mean like the doctors and whatever, they schedule all these appointments like well in advance for you, and you put them in your calendar and you say, yep, okay, that day works, whatever. But they don't tell you what the appointments are for. So I have no idea. I have literally no idea like what to expect for these appointments, and I suppose I could call and be like, what am I even doing? Like, what is happening today? Like, am I getting blood drawn? Like, because that's some stuff I would need to know, like, to try to kind of mentally prepare myself and make sure that I'm, you know, I've got sugar in my blood or whatever. So, yeah. So I have that, and then on top of it, they scheduled me for a totally different facility because I guess the original doctor I was supposed to see became suddenly unavailable. So, yeah, I'm having to go to, like, the actual, like, hospital and try to navigate through that. And then the lady on top of it threw another monkey wrench. She was like, oh, yeah, by the way, if you try to GPS it, it won't take you to the right spot. You can't rely on that. Like, I'll have to send you the address. And I think she sent me the address. But then I'm like, did I remember this right? Like, did she say don't use the address on the map? I don't know. So I think I might have to call before my appointment so I can like figure out what the heck is going on and make sure I make it to my appointment. And on top of it, it's all the way across town. It's a little bit of a jump. It's not like just a couple, you know, roads away or whatever, you know, 10-15 minute drive. It's going to be like a full like 20-minute like excursion, and I don't know where I'm going. So anyway, it'll be fun. I'll let you know how that goes. Oh. But, oh yeah, also kind of a funny thing. So, Mo, so sweet, he wanted to do some extra cleaning in the bathroom. We have our laundry units in the bathroom too. And, he decided he was going to pull out the dryer to try to like sweep behind it and everything and mop, which love the thought, love the idea. But he did not realize that, the ducting is like connected. And so when he went to pull out the dryer, it ripped right out of the wall. And he also did not know, and he did find out, like, what a pain in the butt it is to get it reconnected because the space is so tight. It's so small. It's like the walls come out a little bit. So, like, there's walls on either side of the units. And you've got the washing machine hooked up, and that's only so long. You can't yank that out all the way to get more room. So it's a little teeny tiny space. And guess what? Your girl can't get into it anymore because I had to literally, like, Olympic leap over the units when I first had to hook it up, get back there, crouch, sweating in this tiny spot, like trying to like screw the clamp and all that, and then have to launch myself back up over the units to get out again. And yeah, I can't do that now. So he had a good time with that. I was like, don't do that again, right? He wasn't amused. He was kind of frustrated. So, but anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope you're having an amazing week, and let me know if you've got some good news. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.